What's up, dudes? I'm cleaning my kitchen because I'm going to start making brunch. But Spirit said, let's talk about school. I hear school. Okay, let's talk about our soul school lesson. Deep thinking. Chicago might mean something. Why like one city may be targeted in another city, which obviously needs help, is not. So I'm thinking about Chicago and the Kensington neighborhood in Philadelphia. So Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania might mean something. And I'm channeling, so anything I say is part of your message. So there are thoughts that Spirit wants people to think about. And it goes way back in history. The 60s, 70s, 80s, where major metropolitan cities used to redline certain areas of the city. And so what that means is they would literally pull out a map and say, where do we put the ghetto? Where do we herd all the people, the less desirable, and herd them all together so we don't have to deal with them? And they would draw a red line around a certain part of the city. And this is now illegal to do, and they don't do it anymore. But they for sure used to do this. And that's where you can herd the systematically poor, poverty, undesirables. Obviously, people who live in these places are not, everybody is not like that. That's how you can get stuck in systematic poverty. And so it would become more expensive to be poor because these neighborhoods that were redlined, businesses wouldn't be able to get insured if they wanted to go into that. That would be a red line part of the city, deemed a dangerous or less desirable part of the city. So businesses couldn't get insurance. No insurance company would insure them, except maybe like bigger stores. I hear like that. Okay, I see a Kmart in my mind's eye. And so it would be more expensive to live in these places because you're buying your food at the corner market or the bodega rather than a supermarket, grocery store. No supermarkets can get insured in that part of the city, so there isn't any. A lot of people who live in the red line part of the city don't own a car, so they could only go to walkable places. And that's how that giant swath of community kept stuck. And so I'm not quite sure, maybe in the 80s. I'm not really sure when they made it illegal to do redlined parts of the city. They don't do it anymore, but we for sure feel after effects of it. And so here in the Twin Cities, there was a thing in the 50s, 60s, 70s, where it was called racial covenants. Happened a lot in South Minneapolis, where neighborhoods had a say in who could buy your house if it was for sale. And a lot of neighborhoods in South Minneapolis said no black people. So there would be a realtor might mean something. There would be amendments into the sales of homes in the south side of Minneapolis that said this house is for sale for this amount of money, no black people. Yeah, that is pretty fucking racist. Yeah. And so that's where we got a lot of our black population on the north side of Minneapolis. It's just kind of an extended way that this happened. Until suddenly people started getting, I'm not hearing anything through my headphones, until suddenly a bunch of homeowners said, I need to get rid of my house. I don't really care who buys it, and the neighbors have to deal with it. And then communities got more intricate. I hear integral part of the equation. So I like the noise canceling. So that for sure happened, because a lot of times people say up north we weren't racist like they were down south. No, it was just racism in a different way. And then that ended up being illegal to do. And now there's places like Kensington, I hear, where there's it's an open air drug market. Why is like the National Guard not there? It's Zombieville. You seen those drugs now where people just like fold in half and they're just like, oh, standing there just folded in half? The fucking zombie drug. Well, now think about it. It's the same idea of redlining. If you herd all those drug users there and don't deal with it, the other part of the city doesn't need to deal with them. And so then that leads into bureaucracy. These are some different deep thoughts. And bureaucracy is where a bunch of people, an easy way to explain it is a lot more complicated, push around paper or topics or ideas to give themselves a job. So bureaucracy, the negative effect of bureaucracy, it depends on how you look at it. So we keep hearing Kensington, intravenous drug users who have a nonprofit come to them and give them clean needles, because of course nobody wants to spread HIV, AIDS, any communicable diseases, anything like that. Those people have given themselves a job, and I'm just critically thinking and saying the truth. So don't get mad if you don't like the song the boombox is playing called The Truth. Giving themselves a job to continuously keep people stuck, and they just keep getting a paycheck off of it. So it depends on how you look at it. Are these angels that are preventing HIV? Or are these bureaucracy people who are just keeping everybody stuck so they keep getting a job and a paycheck? Because if the drug use wasn't happening, those people would not have their fun job. And so that's the complicated thought process that goes in with bureaucracy. And it's basically fleecing a concept to get a paycheck. And I'm not saying that's happening or not happening. I'm just explaining. So if they keep a certain area of the city infested with zombie drug addicts, then they're all herded there and nobody has to deal with them. And then a whole bunch of people get a paycheck off of the big problem that's happening there. But the problem never gets squashed out because nobody will get paychecks in. All right, so that's the lesson. I hear callback form or something like that. I hear Fantastic Five. I hear field goal, field hockey, field goal, or something like that. I see someone kicking a soccer ball through a soccer goal. I hear I finally found you. All right, there's the message. Now I'm going to make some brunch. I'm going to film that next. Ooh, almost dropped my pie tin. A pie might mean something. It's not a tin, it's a dish. All right. Woo.